class we were learning about how a person is selected for a job, right? How do we select a right person for the job? We know this. So we know staffing means selecting the right person for the right job. So now we have two questions to answer. What is the right person and what is the right job? So we need to identify both this process. So matching a person with the job means we have to identify the two causes. That is, what is the right job and who is the right person for that particular job. The first question is identifying the right job, and for that we'll do something called as a job analysis, right? So every job, okay, every single job will have a requirement, will have certain requirement. Even if any job, if you're cleaning the floor, that is a job that will also have a requirement that you should be physically able to do that. So every single job will have a requirement to be satisfied by a person who is going to do that job, right? Then only he can be good in that job. Okay? So every job will have a certain requirements. And what is job analysis? Job analysis means it is the study of these requirements and the factors which influence the requirements, right? Study of these requirements and the factors which influence the requirement. So yesterday we said, right, in a site for being a site engineer, a company may ask for knowledge in Hindi, right? So that's the requirement. Okay, and what is the reason for that requirement? Because most of the laborers from in that company might be from North India. Okay, so the requirement is a site engineer who can communicate in Hindi, right? Who can also communicate in Hindi. It's not that, okay, who can also communicate in Hindi. And what is the basis or what is the cause for that requirement? It is the most of the laborers employed in that company are from North India. So to be effective in the work as a site engineer, the requirement is you need to have a valid in English, in Hindi, right? That is the requirement and the factor influencing the requirement. So whenever you are doing a job analysis, you need to identify the requirements and also the factors influencing them. It's not just the requirements. Okay, you need to be careful. These are the requirements, and why do I have such a requirement? That is also to be answered, right? So it is used to identify the qualities which a worker must have to do the job, right? What and all other so as site engineer, so I know what are the requirements for a site engineer. Okay, site engineer may should have a BTech in civil engineering, right? You must have BTech in civil engineering. You must know the practical aspects. Right? These are my requirements. So only after doing the job analysis, I can match with them. Okay, I can identify these are the qualities which I need. Okay, so when I say a site engineer should have a practical knowledge, okay, practical knowledge means, what does it mean? It means that I expect or he has to do practical work, right? He has to know how much cement is to be taken, what is the condition, if something goes wrong, what has to be done, what is the procedure, what is the policy, what is the setback distance, all these things he has to know. That becomes my requirement. So by doing job analysis, I can identify the qualities which a worker must have to do the job. Okay, the job analysis concentrates on, the first one is performance standards. Okay, concentrate on many factors. So first one is your performance standards. Okay, the performance standards means it is the finding out the expected output in terms of both quality and quantity. Okay, so here we have to consider both quality and quantity, right? It's not just quality, it's just quantity, because sometimes our work may be judged based on the quantity. Okay, sometimes our work may be judged based on the quality. Okay, sometimes both has to be considered. Say for example, a painter. Okay, a painter who's creating a masterpiece. Okay, he may take 2 years. Okay, so you cannot say that, well, you took 2 years and do just one picture. No, it's a work. So you have to consider quality, the effort to work that has been put into. So there you have to check the quality. Or somewhere you need to consider quantity. Like say for example, the Rolls Royce car. Okay, what they do handmade. It's a handmade car. So they take every single stitch is handmade. So it will take time. It's of highest quality. Similarly, at the same time, by taking 2 years, they'll be preparing one car. Or in the same time, another can manufacture hundreds of cars in the mass production. So there you have to consider both quality and quantity. Yes, for everything there should be a quality check. Okay, that's understood. Okay, that's well written. So you have to consider the performance standard. Whenever you are analyzing a job, you need to take. So what am I expecting? Am I expecting quality or quantity or both? Okay? So you have three cases. You have highest quality, highest quantity, considering both. Okay. So if we go for quality, then quantity will suffer. If we go for quantity, then there is a chance of quality being suffered. Right? So you have to be very careful. Next, work activities. Now, what work activity means for a job, what and all has to be done. Take an example of a video game. Okay? You guys are whenever we play a video game, we have level 1, level 2, level 3 like that. Each by completing each level, we have what are we are finally we will be completing the video game. Same in the same way, for a work to be completed, there will be certain tasks. It can be divided into certain tasks. Right? For cooking, for example, cooking, we need to clean the vessels first, cut the vegetables 2, then follow the recipe 3, then clean the vessels 4. So we divide into 4 tasks. So completing each task will lead to the completion of the work. So in the same way, we need to identify what and all tasks are there in the particular work. Next is work technologies. Again, we need to take technological development into consideration. Okay. So earlier we used to, not earlier, but today also we do basically using a chain or tape. The length is measured in your home and all, we'll be measuring with chain or tape. But what happens is, with the advent of technology, right, we are having with the total station, with the GPS, DGPS, can make the same work very quicker. Right now, nobody will be following using a uh, chain for road measurement. We are using total. We try to use total station because we get more accurate data, more quicker data. Okay, so we can complete the work more fastly also. Okay, so again, whenever I'm doing job analysis, so I know if I know there's an total station, then one of my requirement will be the staff should have a basic knowledge in total station. Right, again that will help me in selecting the person. Right, then the job context. Okay, what is the work? Identification of the work condition where we have to work. So being an engineer, we will have to work. Sometimes we will be working in the dead center of the city. Okay, in city we will be working. Sometimes we will be working in the outskirts of the city or in a rural area, or sometimes we will be even working in dense forest. Okay, we may have to work in a forest area. So that will depend, right, where we have to work. So those working conditions has to be taken into consideration. Work schedules. Okay, so my company, we are famous for like doing the works within very short span. Okay? We'll be having tight schedules every day. Workers are has to follow a very tight schedule. So it may not be 8-hour work, maybe 12 hours or 14 hours work. So whenever I am selecting the employee, so I will be looking into those employees who can work for 12 hours or 14 hours. Right? That will again be taken into consideration. Then social conditions. Again, we said work conditions and work schedule. Social conditions has to be also taken into consideration. Like we know, most of the contractors, they will prefer gen staff as site engineers rather than ladies. For ladies, they will prefer, they'll put in the office work. Okay, so and for field work or outside work, they will prefer gen staff because the schedule may be varying. Okay, maybe they have to work till night. If a lady staff is there, then it is their duty to make sure that she reaches the home. Right? We have to make certain arrangements also. So the contractor will be under added responsibility. So it will be taking the social conditions. So if it is a safe area that ladies can work, there are a lot of ladies are working in that area. In that there is no problem, right? If a site nearby, there's a like a MNC. Okay? So night shift ladies staff will be working there. So if in such a way they can have a tie-up and the girl can go with them. If there's a situation like that, then it can be taken into consideration. So those conditions will be again taken into consideration. Then how the compensation is done. What is the payment? Okay, whether it's money like for extra charges for overtime, or you can have, if you take on overtime, you get a day off. That may be also the case. You can get a day off, or it is a bonus, or you can be promoted to next level. What is the compensation that can be given? That is also taken into consideration. Then the personal requirement. Okay, we'll have certain basic requirements. Right? Identify the required skills, education, experience, training, and other attributes required for the job. Right? Meaning, see, again, if two of the people are going for an interview. Both are freshers, but one is having a background. One has done a project. When doing the project, they have done a project, something related to the work which has to be done. Like maybe in protestation, they have done a work there. So he is having extensive knowledge in protestation. That will be an added benefit, right? So for basic, what are my basic requirements? I'll identify what are my basic requirements. That is, what are the skills I need? What is the education? What is the basic education I need? What is the experience? Maybe for a site engineer, I can have a fresher. Okay, I can just teach him some basics and he can work on his own. Right? Plus, if I have someone else also to guide him also in the site, then a fresher will do fine. Right? But for a project manager, or when the site is secluded, that is, one person has to do the entire thing. The charge has to be given to one person. In that kind of cases, I may not be able to hire a fresher. I need someone with an experience. Okay? That has to be taken into consideration. So what is his training and other attributes about a project? So that's why we say whenever you are choosing a project for BTech projects, choose it carefully. Okay? That will help you in your future also. Okay? Choose a project that can be extended throughout your life. Okay? Take something new. Right? So again, if we say briefly step job analysis. So job analysis means the first step in matching a person with a job. First step means we need to know what is the requirement. Okay? What is the job requirement? Then only we know who can be matched to that job. So identifying that, studying that, okay? Studying the requirements and the factors which influence the requirements is known as job analysis. Right? It's used to identify the qualities which a worker must have to do the job. What are all the quantities which I need to have him for doing the job. Then job analysis concentrates on performance standards, that is quality and quantity. What is my work? What kind of work I have? Do I have importance to quality? Do I have importance to quantity, or do I have importance to both? Okay, that. Then what are the activities work? What are my activities to be completed? Then technology, right? What is my technology? Is there a scope of a future technology? So I should make a note on that. Then context, where am I working? What is my schedule? Okay, what is my social conditions over there? And how am I going to compensate my workers? This year has to be considered. Then personal requirement. So requirement in the sense, what is the requirement of a staff? Okay, what should be his education? Okay, what should be his experience? What should be his skill level? Then what is his training? Where have all these things have to be considered when I'm doing a job analysis. Yeah, right. So after you have completed your job analysis, then the next step is selecting the person. Okay, so I know what is my job, where am I going to do this job, where is my location, what is my schedule, I know everything about the job, right? How many tasks will be there, what is the time for each task, everything I have been studied well, I have prepared well. Now I need to select a person to match this job. Okay, so selection is the process of choosing the most suitable person. Okay, it's not choosing a person, but it is choosing the most suitable person. Okay, and for the and for where, for the current position and for future position. Okay, it might be for current position or it might be for future position, because I know such a work is coming. Okay, I have a plan for such a work, so I will take a new person. I'll have to give him. Okay, so your work will start in 3 months, but in the meantime, you'll do some training and all, and be ready for that. Okay, that may be the case for current or future positions from among candidates within the organization or from outside. Right? It can be from the within my organization right now who is working, or I can take from someone from the outside. Right? So, say for example, like we are having a restaurant, so I'm planning to add a Arabic menu to the Arabic dishes to my menu. So that's my aim, that's my goal. So now I need a what, and a cook. right? I need a chef who is well versed in Arabic cuisine. So that's my requirement. So the question comes in, when do I want to hire it? Okay, it's my aim to start in the very next day. Okay? Within the next few days, I'm gonna add it to the menu, or am I gonna take some time within 6 months or 1 year? Am I gonna add? This thing has to be considered. Based on that, I'll be hiring chef. So sometimes what will happen is I'll have cooks in my actually we are running a restaurant, right? So we'll be having cooks over there. What can be done if there is someone who is having knowledge in the uh, Arabic cuisine? So if he is there, then he can be promoted to that. He can take the job. Okay. If nobody is there, then what I'll have to hire a person. So selection, it involves three, right? One is choosing the best for the most suitable person, the best person for the job. Okay. And second one will be, it may be for current position or maybe for future position. Okay, I may be doing it for the future. Okay. Third one may be I'll be selecting from within the organization or from outside the organization. This is also possible, right? Clear? Selection is the process of choosing the most suitable person for the current position or for future position from among candidates within the organization or from outside the organization, right? That is what a selection is. Okay. Somebody asks you to define selection, you may write so, right? So selection is the picking the best suited person for the organization requirement. So like we said, see, I can pick someone from my organization itself, right? So suppose I have a cook who knows this Arabic cuisine. Okay, he knows, but he is also in charge of the my other dishes. Maybe for my Indian dishes, also he is the one who is cooking. So I cannot take him and give him the charge of Arabic dishes also. So he will be overworked, right? So I can't do that, and I cannot give him solely the responsibility of the Arabic dishes because my Indian dishes I'll need a new cook, right? So there is the balance. So I need to pick the best person that suits my organization requirement. What is my organization requirement? Okay. So whenever we say we are picking, right? We have been repeatedly saying we are picking someone, we are selecting someone. At the same time, what happens is when I select someone, I'm also rejecting someone also. So selection process involves rejection of unsuitable applicants. Whenever I have people coming for work, whenever I am selecting someone, it will involve what? It will involve I am rejecting people also, right? So recruitment process precedes selection. That means we'll do recruitment and then we'll do selection. And what is recruitment? So recruitment can be said as it's a process of searching for employees, prospective employees. Okay, who meets my requirements. Okay, I need an employee, so I am searching for it. So it's the process of searching for expected employees. It may be that process. Okay, so and it's not that I am searching. Okay, whenever I am searching, at the same time, he or she should apply for my job also. Okay, so I am searching for a cook, right? We are searching for a cook who knows Arabic dishes. So when I'm searching the cook, he should also apply. Suitable people should apply for the job. That process is recruitment. Okay, making sure that people know that I am searching for the job, searching for such person, and stimulating. Basically, I'm stimulating. I'm giving chance. I'm stimulating him for applying the job, right? So that is recruitment. So selection means it is the process of choosing the best person for the most suitable person for the position that may be in the present or maybe in the future. Okay, so I may choose the person from my company, within my company, or from the outside. Okay. So it's the process of picking the best suited person for the organization requirements. Right? Then selection means we are not only taking in, but we are also rejecting also. And first step will be recruitment. Then from the recruited candidates, we will select. Okay. So recruitment means I am searching for a employee. At the same time, the employee should also, the person, so suitable candidate should also apply for my job. So it's my responsibility to stimulate them. Okay? Make them know that there's an opportunity and please apply. Okay? Then only if I have a larger pool, then only I can get a better. If only one person is applied for the job, what will happen? Even if not suitable, I may be forced to take him. But if 2 is there, I'll get a choice. 100 is there, I'll get a better choice. Okay? So that's why recruitment process is very important. Now selection process. How do we do selection? Okay. So steps are, first is obtaining a job description and job specification. Okay. So we have the first step, we had done job analysis. So we had done job analysis. We know everything about the job, right? And we know what is the requirement for the jobs. We know what are the factors that influence the requirements. We know everything about the job. So we will be first, we are obtain the job description, job specification. From job analysis, we will get the job description and job specification. Right? The first step of selection process is to develop job description for the positions to be filled. And what is this job description? It includes determination of title, job title, department in which the job exists, works to be performed, etc. Right? So if in our construction company, we may be doing construction for buildings, high-rise buildings. We may be doing construction for road. We may be doing construction for dams. So we may be a very big company. So whom do I need? Whether I need a site engineer or I need a structural engineer. Okay? Even if I'm going for a site engineer, whether I need an engineer with an experience or will the fresher do? If there's other persons also involved in the site, then a fresher can be taken. So he can also be trained so that he can be given independent charges. So if that is not the case, if in the site, he has to, the scientist is alone, and he has to take all the responsibility, all the decisions, then giving us fresher, it may do bad. It may be doing bad for the company. Right? So that what is the job title? Yeah? In which department? Whether is he to be working in the road or in construction or in the dam, where does he require, and what is the works expected from him, right? What are the works he has to do? Then job specification provides a basis for the assessment of the candidate. It tells me now what are my requirements. So I can assess my candidates within the requirement. So it helps to distinguish between essential and desirable requirements for the job. Okay. So what happens is, suppose I am going to take a site engineer for my road construction. Okay, my road construction works. I need a site engineer, and people have come. So what will be essential requirements? Essential requirements are like they should have BTech in civil engineering background. They should have done this. They should have minimum percentage mark. They should not have supply. Areas back paper should not be there. So this will be essential requirements, right? Then there will be some certain desirable requirements also. Suppose if he is staying very close to the site, okay, if his home is very close to the site, then it will be desirable because he can at any time he can go to the site, right? So we need not bother about this other thing. Right? So closeness to the site, that can be a desirable requirement. Plus, like if he has done a project, okay, his BTech level project, something related to transportation engineering, okay, in road construction and something he has done projects in road, that becomes again a desirable requirement. It's not that it's the solely that it is essential, but it becomes desirable. So it becomes desirable for that particular job. Okay, so I cannot expect all my candidates who are coming to be very close to the site. He may be from other district also. So if somebody comes from who is meeting the essential requirements and is coming from very close to the site, then that becomes he becomes more and more desirable, right? That's the difference between essential and desirable. So job description, it gives us an idea about the job, and job specification, it gives us ways to assess the candidate. Okay. The next step is application form. Okay, so what will happen is, if there are so many applicants are there, the company what they will do, they will give a application form. Application forms are basically a universal mechanism to screen the applicants to be called for interview. So there is sometimes what will happen, thousands of candidates will apply for the job, right? There will be thousands of applications will come. So or resumes would be sent. So what the company will do, they'll send out the application form to be filled. Okay, so those who are interested candidates, they can fill the application, okay, during the recruitment process. What this tool will do, it can help the company to screen out those who are not up to the mark, what is the not meeting the requirements. Okay, so it's a screening mechanism. So it is used to get the information like what is his education, training, experience, age, marital status, etc. Okay. So what the company needs, they can get it from the application. So sometimes what will happen, the company would need persons with a certain CGPA. They need persons with such background, or they will say no history of back papers. Okay, certain companies will all say there should be no history of back papers. So when such a question comes in the application form, the persons who are having back papers, who had back papers, cannot apply for the job. So that because automatically they can screen the person. Per CGPA will come, or experience, 5 years experience, 3 years experience, they will say. So that will again discourage the applicants, right? This convenience can discourage the unsuitable applicants, right? So that at that step itself, the company can reduce the number of applicants. Right? Then the next step is test. So we need to conduct aptitude test, trade test, or psychological test, right? And these are used to measure the various abilities of the applicants. Okay. So what happens is in aptitude test we know, right? We have taken aptitude test in many stages of our life. All of us have experience in. What trade test means is, suppose you say, I know how to use a total session. So you will be given the total session and you will be asked to perform a job. Okay. So that is trade test. Sometimes you say, I'm expert in Revit architecture, I know, or AutoCAD I know. So they will give you a plan. Say, please draw this plan. Okay. And whenever when you are drawing the plan, they will judge you based on your knowledge, how quickly you are doing, what is the method. Okay, are you using the mouse? Are you using the keyboard shortcuts? What is the method of your drawing? Okay, in AutoCAD, we should learn to use shortkeys. Okay, rather than going for searching the tools in the top menu. Always learn about using the shortkeys. L, enter, line, let you draw line, right? Similarly, so it should go for learn about shortkeys also. Okay. So coming back to our topic, so this trade test will help us identify what is the level of his knowledge. Sometimes what will happen is we may be confident that we are above average, but when doing the job only, we will understand that under the pressure, okay, there's a pressure. During the module we have said, second module we know, okay, whenever somebody is observing us, we will be under pressure. We will be supposed to do better. We will try to do better, right? Auto experiment. Under pressure, we may not be able to perform well, right? That has to be taken into consideration. Right? Then psychological test. Psychological test. How do you work? Okay, what is your mental capacity? Okay? Where do you stand? Are you mentally strong person? Right? Because maybe tight schedules has to be followed. You will be under a lot of pressure. Can you bear the pressure? Okay. Can you bear the pressure? Okay. Will you succumb to it? That thing has to be considered. So based on this test, your abilities will be judged. Okay, it will be act as a measuring tool. Then comes interview. So you have applied for the job, then you have undergone the test, and once you have passed that test, you will be going for interview, right? So interview means it's a conversation, okay, between persons, okay, between you and a interviewer. What you have to understand here is the interviewer may not be one person. Okay, he may be one person, but in some cases there will be a panel. Okay, sometimes it might be face to face. Right? Nowadays we are doing interviews over telephone. Okay, by Skype or on we are doing the interview. So that has to be considered. Okay, what is an interview? Basically, it's a conversation. Interview equals conversation, right? So the interviewer asks questions to the applicants on various topics and judge their suitability and ability. Okay, so the aim of the interviewer is not only to judge your knowledge. Okay, that can be done by the test. Okay, you have to test and your performance that can be measured. But here, what they are measuring is how do you react? Okay, your suitability for that particular job. Okay, how well are you suitable to my company? That is what the interviewer judges. Okay, are you a good enough recruit? That's my that's what I check over here. Okay, are you a good enough? So he'll be asking on various topics. Okay, sometimes it will may be related to your subject, sometimes it may not be. Okay, that will depend upon the person also, interviewer. Okay, the attitude of the interviewer will also have a play. Okay, sometimes what the interviewer will try to do is he'll try to show that he is better than you. Okay, that cases are there. Okay, but what we are saying is normally what should be done. Okay, normally what should be done, you should have a conversation with the interviewer and on various topics, and on how do you answer, how do you react to the question, that will be judged, and that will determine whether you are suitable for the job. That will show your ability, right? Then your physical examination. Okay. Physical examination means you are physically tested. Okay. Maybe medical examination, like whether you have your height, weight might be measured. We know that in police and all we are seeing they'll be measuring your height, weight, your chest, everything will be measured, right? Also medical test will be there, whether you have any disease or not. Okay. Whether you have tattoos on your body. Okay. Sometimes that will also be judged, right? So that makes it that helps us again. That helps to weed out the unsuitable candidates, right? So if they need someone who is needing certain physical characteristics, they can be or medical characteristics, they can select them. So medical examinations are conducted to identify any disabilities in applicants which may hinder his working. So you can be only, they will be judging only based on your job. Okay, for that particular job, we have done the job analysis earlier. For that particular job, we need this kind of a person. So based on that, they will do the medical examination. Right. Then the next step is induction and orientation. So you have passed your medical test. Okay, you have passed your medical examination. Now you have to be added to the company. So you are a fresher. You have to fresher to the company. Okay, you may be having 10 years of experience, but you are new to the company. So you should be. You had for when you came for BTech, right? You had your orientation classes, right? Same way, an orientation to the what did we do there? We told you what is it. You guys are civil engineer students. What is expected of civil engineer students, right? What is the rules and regulations of the college? What is to be done here? Whom you can go for an inquiry. You introduce your subject coordinators, right? Everything has been done. So in the same way, for company also, we had to do the same thing. So an introduction of a employee to the job and the organization. So similarly, as you were shown what civil engineering is and who will teach you when you were given an idea, the same way the employee will be given, okay, this is a job. So you are a site engineer. So these are the jobs which we expect from you, right? That will be given. And what is this is the organization. This is the rules and regulations which you have to follow over here, right? This will be given. An introduction will be given. You are not told everything, but that you will learn as the time progresses, right? It gives necessary information about the organization to the employees. Okay? So we, based on rules and regulations, we can judge what kind of a company is it, okay? And develop relationship between newcomers and old employees. Okay, so a relationship can be formed. So we sometimes we'll have formal relationship. Okay, within yourself, okay, your staff coordinator. Some of you will be very close to staff coordinator. Right? That's a relationship. All of you are having a relationship with your staff coordinator, but some of you may be friendly with your staff coordinator a little bit more. Okay? Maybe due to certain likes. Okay? The same, they are thinking in the same way with something like. So relationships can be formed between new and old employees, right? So this is the steps. So first, in matching a person, what should we do? We should do the job analysis. We should study everything about the job. Each and every requirement of the job should be studied, right? What is the requirement and what are the factors that influence the requirement? These things also has to be understood, right? Once it is done, then what is the next step? You studied about the job, right? You also what are considered the performance, right? Whether we go for quality or quantity, where do we have to work, working condition, personal requirements, everything has to be considered about the job. Okay? Who suits best for the job? That is given by the job analysis. And now when the selection process comes, we will make a job description and a job specification. From the job analysis, we know what is the job description and what is the job specification, right? So it helps us to assess the candidates, right? Then we'll have the application. We'll send out the application. We'll recruit, right? Application will be sent. So what is selection process? Basically selecting the best employee, best possible candidate for the particular job, right? Which may be currently available or maybe in the future, which may, and the selection can be done within the organization or from the outside, right? We'll be given promotion, like promoting someone to a new position, a manager position. That means you are selecting for someone from the company itself. It can be within the company or from the outside, right? So that's selection process. So once you have sent the application form, people will respond. Then based on that, you can conduct tests. Then interview can be done, right? Then after interview, those who are selected, they have to, sometimes they will have to pass a physical examination or a medical examination. Then they can be introduced. They can be inducted and oriented, right? So we'll stop here today, and please let me know if you have any doubt.